All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Old Reader, New Reader. I just realized I left off the little brand thing in the corner. How will people know what channel this is on? Okay. Doesn't match our color scheme right now. That's fine. And I'm here with a special guest, a longtime viewer, now friend, also hanging out. And that is the wonderful Ayce.
Hi, I'm not that wonderful, but hi.
Yes, you are. I put all of Ayce's, all of their info stuff in the description, but I think they would do a better job, talk about themselves.
Yeah, so hi, I'm Ayce. I'm on Not Near Meant every Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I have a new channel called Brags and Boards. So when the inevitable "Why are you wearing a mask?" comment comes up, you can check out my latest video where I answer that question in depth for you.
There you go. And honestly, in Japan, that's a very normal thing, so it's fine.
Yes.
Like, when masks got popular here, I was like, that's just been, for whatever reason.
Yep.
Aw. Not Near Meant says, Ayce is my favorite person in the world.
Oh, you're my favorite person in the whole world.
Hello, Chris. Hello.
Hi, Ree.
Yeah, look at all these people. This is great. This is wonderful. So today, I asked Ayce to be on, and then we talked about potential books. And they mentioned that they hadn't yet read Snotgirl. And I haven't done an Old Reader, New Reader on Snotgirl, even though I think it's one of the first comics I started picking up when I got into comics. And I'm still obsessed with this series, even though I have no idea what's going on. And when I try to sell it to anybody, they're like, what is it about? I'm like, it's, some really fashionable people, and it's a psychological thriller, I guess.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it.
So this is by Bryan Lee O'Malley, who did Scott Pilgrim. But he did the writing and not the art. And the art is by Leslie Hung, whose art I love. And also I even bought a t-shirt. We should wear it for this occasion.
Iconic.
Because every once in a while, Leslie will pair up with Big Bud Press, who she even drew some outfits in here for Big Bud Press. And they sell Snotgirl t-shirts, but they sell out in 4 hours. So it's finally I got this one with Caroline, another one with Caroline and Lottie. Thanks, Jane. It's gonna be a good Over Your New Reader. It's a book Maddie's obsessed with. Yeah, before we talk about summary and stuff, the reason I bought this, one, color and art and all that stuff, but two, I have intensely horrible allergies.
Same.
Any person I've ever dated will tell you that I am snotty. I would love not to be. I'm sure it's partly living in Kentucky, but it's the bane of my existence. And so the minute we saw this on the shelves, they were like, oh, it's you. Look. And they're not wrong. And so that's part of the reason I got it, because I was like, finally, representation of my ailment and my blank. Finally. And that and it's just cute, and it's very anime style too. If you like manga, there's definitely a lot of manga influences in this, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't call them booger problems, Chana Sook. That doesn't sound as nice as snotty. Elliot can confirm. He's lived with me long enough. So yeah, I guess before we get into it, spoiler warning for this. Now, the series is not done. There's only 3 trades released so far. I don't know how long this is going to take, but I can tell you that 3 trades in, I still don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. So I guess a brief description of what Snotgirl is about. It centers around Lottie, aka Snotty. She is an influencer, fashion blogger, Instagrammer, what have you. And she hangs out with other people like that. She's very self-involved, a little snobby. And her biggest secret in her life is that she has very bad allergies and she can't let anybody know. So that's what you enter in on. But as you go through, you realize she meets this new girl, Caroline, who she wants to be your best friend, but she also has the hots for her, as she realizes as she goes through. And Caroline keeps dying or hurting herself. And then weird things happen around Caroline, like stuff breaking or people dying or going into comas or something else. Like she's got a really weird brother who kind of follows around and cleans up her messes. And she also acts like, it's very like Twilighty in a way that she's like she feels like she's been around a while because she doesn't remember the details of her own life, and she's very laissez-faire about it. She's like all the time like, oh yeah, I think I'm this old. She's like, you think? And she's like, oh yeah, that guy, my cousin. And she's like, you just say it was your brother. She's like, oh yeah, whatever. Like she's just very weird. Mm-hmm. And so you're dealing with like regular Lottie's life throughout this, but this weird inkling in the background where you're like, something's going on with Caroline. I don't know what it is. But that's my quickest like short premise of it. I get the snots for her, you mean. That's really good, Chadwick. That's a good bit. But yeah, so I guess let's jump into it. I'm trying to get the best way to segment this book and talk about it.
Well, first, I love an embossed cover.
Ooh, yes.
Feels
it is.
so
I wish
pretty.
you could see. All of them are. I can't show it. I wish I could. There you go. It's an ASMR channel now. Yeah, it's beautiful, and the covers are beautiful.
Yes. I really love the soft coloring of it. And I loved how they explained extremely basic acronyms of if nobody that's read this has ever heard of an acronym before while texting. And then at the same time, it feels like they're very boomerish in how they abbreviate other things because it's like nobody talks like that.
See, and I bet they do. Like, I don't know about Bryan, but it sounds like he talks to Leslie a lot as he's going through this. Because as I was reading through it, like, Leslie is also a very fashionable, cute person. And I bet she gives Bryan Lee O'Malley, like, a lot of, like, I bet they really collaborate on some of this stuff. Because she's very clear about what her, like, inspirations are. Or, like, from what she's watching, like, in Volume 3 when they mentioned Terrace House. Which I don't know if you watched Terrace House, but I watched Terrace House.
I don't know what it is.
It is such a popular Japanese reality show that they just live in a house and nothing extreme happens. It's very casual. And so when that showed up, I was like, yes. But definitely not like a reference that would make sense to like regular comic book people.
That reference went over my head. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So I guess we can start. This is my second time reading it. Ayce, this is your first. What are your first impressions, I guess?
I found it hard to follow sometimes because just like, what the fuck's going on? And not in like the typical mystery way. It's just like, I don't understand what the fuck you're even trying to do, but I kind of like it. Mm-hmm. That's where I got with that.
No, that's fine. No, absolutely. And like, I will say reading this a second time, like, because I was reading them as the trades came out. But then going back and reading it a second time, I knew kind of more what to look for as far as this like mystery. So like, it's so subtle that it's almost hard to realize if you're in a psychological thriller or not.
Yeah.
You know? Because you get so into the whole like fashionista Lottie dealing with her like ex-boyfriend dating some rando. Or she's like just her self-centeredness and her like fashionista life that like it can be hard to like follow the very, very tiny pieces Bryan O'Malley gives you. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know since I was going back through it. I was like, oh wait, the mirror cracked in this time. Oh, okay. That's probably something. Like, because yeah, not even an inch they've given us. Mm-hmm. No clue.
So I took down some notes, and they're very agenda-ish.
Hey, that's fine.
So the first one was that I thought it harbored too much on the idea that using social media makes you a shallow person, when in reality, the best friends and the realest conversations you can have are through social media. And like it's been like a whole tool for an entire generation to like unlearn harmful behaviors and uplift each other and to be like validating voices. So I didn't like, I'm gonna use the word boomerish again. Like the whole
That's fine.
criticism of like social media is shallow. I'm just like, okay, I don't care. So that was one thing. And then I like how the use of color made you like break the walls of what's real and what's not. Like when Cute Girl was like washing her, like she took a shower, washed the makeup off her face and everything. And everything was going from like extremely vibrant when she was on social media to like dulling out as more of her like real self was shining through. And yeah, I really like that. How like the colors were showing like true reality versus perceived reality.
I find something good. I should flip through and show some of the art to everyone. Let me move my microphone out of the way. But it's very like, it's so manga inspired. Not just in art, but like characterization of people also. Like these tropes, these types of characters, I feel like are so common in manga.
I haven't read a lot of manga, so I didn't pick up on a lot of that. I've only read like a handful of stuff in my life.
That is A-okay.
But
you were probably cooler than me growing up.
no, I just read, and that was it. My entire personality was reading and Liza Minnelli fan fiction.
Which I still love. That's very unique. I did really enjoy like watching Lottie's posse grow throughout this. And of course, there hasn't been much growth, of course. We're not too far in here, but just like watching them interact and seeing who everybody is like on their own. Although it's great because they have Norm Girl there, because Lottie gives these really crappy nicknames to everybody she meets instead of learning their actual names.
I used to do that because I watched Harriet the Spy religiously when I was a kid. So I started giving everybody nicknames. And when I saw her do that, I was like, oh my God, that's a very me thing to do.
I can relate a little bit though, because I bet like, I think with my ADHD, sometimes like it's hard right away. So I'm like, okay, I have to give them an attribute and then I won't forget. Because we've got Lottie, aka Snotty, main girl. Also, I love their last name is Person. Lottie Person.
Yeah.
Is hilarious to me.
It's like, see, I'm a real person. Like,
I'm sure there's some like secret messaging in there.
Probably.
And then we've got her friends in her haters club. They like to hang out, have brunch, and hate on stuff and take pictures. So they've got Cute Girl, who's like this 33-year-old girl, I think, who's Japanese. I'm not really sure, who is like all about like cutesy fashion. And we've got Norm Girl, who's just like probably the type of person I would hang out in real life. She's like a normal person.
Yeah.
She probably wears like vintage clothes and like buys from like ModCloth or something, you know, and listens to Zooey Deschanel. I don't know, but I like her.
Who would listen to Zooey Deschanel? I bet you're a big fan.
I only based my entire style on her for a year. The bangs don't work on me though. I tried. I tried really hard. She was normcore. And then we have Caroline come in, which I guess Lottie's an interesting character to read for because she's your main character of the story, but she's also kind of horrible a lot of the time.
Everybody's horrible in this. There's no likable people.
Like, I think John Cho might be likable, but he's a little too stalkerish.
Yeah.
But she's kind of horrible and vapid and just very self-centered. Like the minute Caroline shows that she's like, that girl is so hot and so fashion forward, I'm going to ditch my friends immediately. And that's like her first thing her monologue is of just like, as long as this goes well, I'm ditching these losers. to hang out with this model girl who ends up being crazy pants. And she likes her so much, but she's so much like, she was like crazy, sorry. But she's just so much like for her.
Mm-hmm.
And so gaslighty and awful. I was so uncomfortable the whole time with Caroline because I wanted to like ship them and like them together, but every time Caroline does anything, it stresses me out.
Part of me was just like, I hate Lottie so much that I want her to have a horrible relationship.
Well, and I still love Lottie, even though she's awful.
Yeah, I do too.
Like, I want to cosplay Lottie so bad.
Do
like,
it, please.
So bad. But she's fun and she's interesting. But like, yeah, so we have a couple of like things going on in the background of here. One, we have Caroline, who she's something. I don't know what she is, but it's got to be something mystical or something. It's got to be something weird, right?
Like, what do you think? Because I'm leaning towards Ghost, just because she can't die.
Well, I would think Ghost, but we saw a ghost. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? There's a ghost later. But so we have Caroline, who has died. We've literally seen her. She just keeps falling on the floor. It's not even like she's being pushed to die. She just faints, falls on the floor, blood everywhere. Give her a few minutes, wakes back up, and she's like, what? And then her brother, her like very femboy brother, is just like, hello, I'm here, and then cleans up the whole area with like a disguise on or a uniform. You're like, what is happening? And I don't know what she is.
What if they're doing a prank channel and this whole series is like a prank against Lottie and her friends?
That would be hilarious though. Because Caroline was like, no, I've had my eyes on you. So I was like, okay, maybe she picks out these influencers and then like attacks them for their youth.
Maybe.
Or something. But then she's got these two brothers who also like protect her and help her out for some reason.
What if she thrives on like mentally destroying people and her brother's there to hide the evidence of it?
Maybe.
But like that's what she feeds off of?
No clue. And I still don't know after 3 volumes. All I know is they added more to it when like, because for the first 3, we just know about Caroline and then we hear about her brother. And he seems cool, but he seems very like particular. And he's always just like sneaking around. And we know he's gay, I guess. Which was fun. Yeah. And then this other brother shows up at the end of like volume 3 and like, then they just kill people. And you're like, what's happening? I'm very confused. And they must have killed that nice lady who became a ghost, who just really cared about Rihanna's new palette drop or whatever. I don't know makeup terms, obviously.
I'm allergic to all makeup, so I can't answer.
Yeah, I felt really dumb. I was like, I don't know what they say. Although it was cute, because there's this ghost that shows up and doesn't know where she's from and isn't really helpful to Lottie at all. We just know that she died, and all she cares about is like, can you give me some swatches though of like Rihanna's new drop, please? And I thought it was cute that she did do that and like post on Instagram stories.
Mm-hmm.
Swatches for a friend. It's like, oh, that's great. I have 2 trades but haven't tried reading it. It sounds painful. Palette. It's really funny. I know I'm not describing it well, but like the benefit to this story, besides the color and the art, is that you do get. It's weird, and it's weird to describe, but it's funny and it's beautiful to read. So I think even if like if you're not super into the story, it's like what Omar would say, that some comics, you may just want them as an art book, which is a totally valid reason to own a book.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, I'm into the story already. It's too late. I can never leave this ever.
Yeah.
I had to know.
Like it makes like zero fucking sense, and I'm annoyed that I don't know what's going on, so I have to read it out of spite at this point.
I am impressed by that though, because like I feel like I love reading or watching mysteries all the time. So much so that I guess too early.
Mm-hmm.
Usually what's happening. If they can keep surprising me, I'll be pleased. That's all I need. If you can surprise me till the end and it makes sense, and it's not like forced, then you're fan for life. Yeah. But if I guess it, or if it's lamer than my guess, I'll be upset.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is 3 volumes long. I know I have more to talk about. I guess we also talk about her stalker.
Yes.
So we have Lottie just recently broke up with her dude or whatever. And he ends up dating some girl that basically Lottie's like, she's a nobody. She looks very normal. And even though she's very normal, she's obsessed with this girl, Charlene, stalking her everywhere. Like a vapid social media light would do. And then what I love is that the conversation with her intern is like, no, that was your intern before, like 3 years ago. You don't remember her? She's like, no, because life sucks. But then we found she's just been kind of stalking Lottie this whole time. Just like Lottie's already like, we think Lottie's being paranoid. She's like, this girl's taking over my life. She's trying to get my boyfriend. She's trying to just be me, blah, 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 blah. And actually, I guess she sounds like she was right, because she was just hiding behind her photos all the time and like bought her dress and then also bought like her underwear, but not like from her. It was underwear
like
line,
her
but
brand.
like, but then showed it off, which I thought was hilarious. Like, Lottie, look. And of course, we find out she's gay, because of course she was only dating her ex-boyfriend.
Well, the villain has to be queer, obviously.
Well, in this book, I think, well, both of them, I guess. I don't know which one's the villain. I'm not rooting for either of them. But let's see. I just hope it actually pays off and it isn't confusing because the author didn't write it well. I personally think it's written well. Ayce may have a different, I think, view of that.
I'm fine.
Which is okay.
Yeah.
So the story is chaotic but fun. Sounds like my kind of book. It is chaotic.
It's very chaotic. Everybody's chaotic. Yeah. Nobody has their shit together. They're all a mess. Everybody lies and deceives each other.
Take some Clarence D and read kind of book. I haven't really tried to figure out what's going on. I'm just along for the ride. Hey, that's fair. I literally don't even know how to perfectly describe it either, which now I feel really bad for using this as a book for us to talk about. Am I going to be anxious and focus on this after this show's done? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I will. Let's see what else to talk about. I do think we should also talk about the guys in the book.
I forgot there were men in it, honestly. They're men. Yeah,
but it's interesting because we have Norm Girl's husband-to-be.
Yes.
Who, when we're first introduced to him, is super creepy and tries to hit on Lottie. And she accidentally walks in him on the bathroom as he's butt naked, hoping to make some moves on her that night. And she's like, no. And he also calls his penis a Zord, which I think is hilarious. And so he's supposed to be like the creepy playboy type, because all the time he's like, hey, I know I'm getting married soon, but I need one more bang. I'm gonna bang that green hair girl or whatever. But then, fun twist, he likes boys.
Yeah.
Which I like that part.
I love the lack of straight people in this very much.
Except for sweet little John Cho. I'm Team John Cho.
Kind of.
I really like him. Well, he does go a little bit too far.
He's a little stalkery.
But I still think he's cute. I don't know what this is about me. Is that healthy? I don't know.
Probably not, but
there's not a lot of people to root for. But he was like, I'm so in love with her, and I love fashion design. I don't want to be a policeman or detective. I want to make dresses. I was like, oh.
I hope he gets to make dresses one day. You know.
Good luck. I hope you get to. I hope you don't get murdered. It'd be really cool if you didn't. I can't stop staring at the lime hair green. It's like so mesmerizing. I know. The character design in this is great. Like Leslie Hung does such a great job going into overall character design. She makes really great notes. It's like at the back of every volume, you have Leslie's comments. And so Leslie goes in depth about the inspiration for different looks. Like for the blue dress, it's inspired from Persona 5 and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which I love. She talks about how she designs Ghost Girl. I can't say that well. And she has a lot of like look into fashion as well, because she's like, you know, these girls aren't going to wear fashion that's going to like be sustainable, or like trends are going to last a long time. So they have to have something really weird. So like she talks about the flower boobs, like where like Lottie has weird things on her boobs. She's like, this is a fashion trend that would probably work in this comic that will never last, right? Mm-hmm. None of these girls are going to wear anything that makes sense. Except for like Norm Girl or whatever. Find a good one. And she always goes in depth about cute girls' outfits. I can't find where my finger is. There. Which is nice. I don't always get to see how the artists think about stuff. Mm-hmm. And it was nice to read something that was like, okay, I like how you're thinking about it, not just like, we took away the pants of the outfit because we wanted her to be sexier, even though she's 16. And so not reading that in a book is nice.
Yeah.
But really, Leslie Hung is just, I love her so much. She's just the best.
She really is. Everything's so pretty.
I know. Yeah, I'd say overall, like, the type of, I mean, this is obviously, I think, marketed towards, I think there's a very clear market for this book, as I think a lot of image books are. I'd say if you are a fan of fashion or manga or, anything on the CW, I think you'd like this. I also think if you're looking for something that's a little weird but has some like queer representation, you'd like this. It's fun, and I think it'll be hard to really fully judge this until it's done, because it's hard to judge a mystery until the mystery is completed. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how long it's going to take them to do, but hopefully not too long.
Yeah, I hope it actually comes back and doesn't get canceled.
Oh my gosh, please no. I'll be very upset because I can't. I need to know. Mm-hmm. I have to know what's happening. They've got to tell me. Does John Cho ever tell Lottie his feelings? You know, are they ever going to explain all of Caroline's brother's really cool, but not cool disguises? Because I love them. Will they continue to do gratuitous sauna pages with all the guys? I love that, though. We can at least talk about that. Like, you know, pretty impressed with the female gaze in this one, and I mean it both ways. The gaze and the gaze.
The gaze.
Because I think we spend a good amount of time in these books where the guys are just like hanging out. Which is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. That might be all we can talk about. We might have to just go into rating and chill time with the chat, which is fine.
I wrote like a little mini review.
Please give it, because okay. I'm doing that thing where I panic and I just keep talking.
I'm doing a thing where I panic and I'm not talking.
We're a great pair. See.
All right. So this is my hypercritical moment.
I love it. Give it.
Okay. I think there is an issue. Well, there's an issue whenever you write a group that you don't belong to, whether it's like gender, race, subculture, or anything else, where you have unintentional biases that come along with anything you have to say. And I feel like there were moments of like subtle hints of misogyny that were masked as criticisms of wealth and beauty standards. And I know someone's gonna be like, cancel culture, but that's not what it is. I like Snotgirl. I want you to read it. It's not canceled by anybody except maybe Image one day. I can't control that. But anyway, so like I don't think it's like some terribly misogynistic thing that you should just avoid. I just think that suffers from some ingrained biases. Like Lottie is framed as being this super shallow person that's only concerned about like her looks and her appearance, which to be fair, she is like that in a lot of ways. But I think it also ignores the fact that she's going through a mental health crisis. Like she clearly has anxiety and signs of depression, and she probably has PTSD from witnessing someone dying
several times
now. So it feels like at some points the allergy thing is taking away from like her actual narrative that like needs to be discussed. And yeah. And that's something else. Hold on. Okay. So like because most of the readers aren't going to relate to her being like rich and famous and wealthy and all that shit. Our point of view is like she has nothing to really worry about, but like her entire career is based around her looks. So like of course that's going to be the most important thing to her, because we all have those like little things in their jobs we have to worry about that other people are like, what the fuck do you mean? Like that's the dumbest thing ever. Like why do you care if you missed a comic this week? It's not the end of the world. But like it is the end of the world for some people. Like that's their whole life. And no, I just wish that like they just focus more on like what she's actually going through instead of like trying to cover everything up with like, oh, she has snot on her face. Poor her. But maybe the shallowness we feel towards her is what's actually distracting us, and it's our fault because we keep putting our perceptions of our reality onto her. If that makes any sense.
No, it does.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I hope that we get time to like really explore like what she's feeling going through with all of this here.
Mm-hmm.
But I can also see how like with the type of character that she is, that like I can see her like overlooking a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
And not knowing how to, I mean, it's very obvious she doesn't know how to like deal with any problem she has, because she's just like, I have to reach out to people, but I don't know how to reach out to people. And I was like, I so related with a lot of situations. She's like, I want to text people, but I don't be too much.
I can't relate because I'm always too much with everybody that I text. Rogworth could verify that.
Well, I also love, oh gosh, I feel for her so viscerally when like Caroline starts pulling whatever she's pulling. Because there's this point in the story where like Caroline's her friend. Which, to be fair, she purposely was like, oh, my actual friends are losers and Caroline's really cool. They're going to mess this up. But then Caroline starts to hang out with her friends more than her. And the whole time she's like, what the fuck? What is this? And it just gets like really paranoid about it. But Caroline's playing that game good.
Yeah.
She scares the shit out of me. But not for the immortal stuff, but for like the gaslighting things. I'm like, I have anxiety. You're gonna upset me. But she does give me like Jennifer's Body vibes.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like she feels very Megan Fox from Jennifer's Body, especially when she's bloody and started kissing on Lottie. I was like, I see you.
Yep.
I didn't expect it to be that deep with the title like Snotgirl. Hey, you know?
Maybe I'm just overanalyzing it. Who knows?
Psycho Cleveland, we can always curse on Tuesday night shows. It's okay.
Fuck yeah.
It's allowed here. It's just not allowed on Saturday live shows because that's during the day. Caroline is turret-like, honestly. Ayce holds nothing sacred. I curse before Ayce did. It's fine. They're allowed. I decreed it.
I do hold nothing sacred. Except for my loves of MILFs and gills. So
So I guess we can just like go and give a rating and then just chill with the chat. Talk comics. They can ask questions. We can chill, whatever. I'm drinking some mead, so I'm having a good time.
I am drinking some strawberry bubbly.
Ooh, I love some bubbly in this house.
Love bubbly.
It sounds so lame, like. No, I love bubbly. So for me, what? The Wolsey stuff? What does that mean?
I don't know.
Okay. I don't know what that means. I'm here to be on the same level as my significant other, so I can be like, yeah, I know about Snotgirl since she's collected all the single issues. Oh, that's awesome. I listened to the 11 O'Clock Comics recent book of the month on Snotgirl, and they hated it. I don't know who that is. I still really like this book. I'm going to be reading it forever. It's been one of my favorites. I look forward. This will depend on how it ends and what depth it's given to by that, because to me, it's all about solving the mystery. But as someone who's read a lot of like books growing up that fit this kind of mold, again, like the manga background, like this is an 8 out of 10 for me because it's like reading a retro book that I grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
Just very cool girls doing cool girl stuff, and then there's some gay in there. And a mystery. So like they just, on paper, this is it. Like that's what I want. But it will absolutely depend on the ending. But as long as it keeps looking cool, without the outfits, I'll buy them all. So I'll give it an 8 out of 10 for me.
I'm giving it a 5 out of 7 because
subverting the rating. Okay. Okay.
Shout out to that meme from like 8 years ago. I feel like I'm gonna stick with it, but I have too much anxiety to read a lot of mystery stuff. So now I'm just like, oh man, I don't know what's happening. That's annoying.
Well, now what you can do is I'll read it all and I'll tell you.
Okay.
And then you can read. So that way you don't have to worry like, okay, I know how this is going to go.
Write some fan fiction and then I'll just like take that as fact from that one.
Perfect. The main ingredient for Maddie looks for is hint of gay. Not always. I just started to own it in my life now. I've never read Scott Pilgrim either, so I don't know. Scott Pilgrim's still good. There's some issues with it.
I got like 2 minutes into the movie and I was just like, nope, I'm good.
Yeah, the older I get, I'm like, okay, I can see this was a very dated thing.
Yeah.
If you go into that recognizing it, it's okay. But the more I think about it as I get older, I'm like, oh, this was weird. But
all these grown-ass adults just sitting around a table, just like, my girlfriend's in high school, and I'm like, ew.
Yeah.
It's like, is she hot? I'm like, no, my nieces are here. They're gonna be in high school one day. No.
The soundtrack's really good. Sounds like an 8 out of 10 for me. I always knew Already Room Reader was the source of family-friendly, wholesome content. 7.5. I guess this is talking about Scott Pilgrim. I think I got 3 volumes in. It's pretty cool, but the slang definitely shows its age. Yes. As is the case with a lot of comics, which sometimes you have to go into it being like prep yourself because you're like, they're going to say some words that they shouldn't use anymore. You're making this sound like the loss of comics, and I'm into that. Jessica, you can borrow my copies. I'd like to know what you think about it. I just want you to be confused like we're confused. I love it. I'm confused. Psycho Cleveland, I so desperately want to review Dick Fight Island, but I'll have to do that on my Sunday show with Kristen, not on this channel. I don't think I would be allowed to. Have you heard about this, Ayce?
No.
So I won't go into detail, but there's a yaoi manga. It's a boys love manga called Dick Fight Island. And they have like weird armor on and they have to fight each other. I guess I can't talk about this on here. Anyways, they've got to fight each other. And the end goal is not exactly a not pleasurable one, I assume. But it looks hilarious. I've been dying to buy it.
I love that.
This is not my beautiful house. This is not my beautiful wife. Oh, good question. Are you guys reading any ongoing series, looking to pick up whatever? Ayce, I know you are.
What are comics? I can't think of any. Hold on. No, I don't have my phone.
I put so much
here.
pressure on you. I was like, surprise.
So
you came here to talk about this book, but now
I'm reading literally every single comic that Volt is putting out. Hallie suggests that. Actually, my phone's right here. I can look at the thing and see. Yeah, so Volt Comics, they're freaking iconic, and everything they release is good. I highly recommend The Plot, which has ended. Resident, I think it has a couple issues going. Heavy is great. These two dudes like die and they go to hell, and they're basically in love, but they're not going to admit it, you know. But they're like super into each other. Abbott is really good.
I love Abbott.
Abbott's so great.
Oh, good.
Have you read the newest one?
No, I can't decide if I want to pick it as it's coming out or wait for the trade.
It just ended, I think.
Okay, good. Well, I'll wait for the trade, probably.
Yeah.
But I love the first volume.
And then
so
Alice in Leatherland is really good. It's about this girl that, like, she's like a children's book author, and she like moves away, and she moves into a house that's full of like queer and kinky people.
Oh, cool.
And it's like super adorable.
I like it.
Yes. And the current run of Buffy is really good.
I need to catch up.
That's so good.
I put it off after Chris and I did our read through of like all the older canon stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we're taking a break before we go back into the new reboot of everything.
And then Department of Truth is really good. Been loving that. We're gonna be interviewing the Stray Dogs creators next week, I think.
Nice.
Not near Mint, so y'all should check that out.
Nice. And you can find the info for that channel in the description.
Yes.
I have been reading. No, I don't usually pick up floppies, but that's changed in the past year. There is a series I pick up. But I've been reading all of the High Republic, all the Star Wars stuff.
Nice.
Because I've recently gotten into Star Wars out of nowhere. And I'm picking up a ton of stuff this summer, like all the DC Pride issue I'll go pick up, and then Wonder Girl, because she's beautiful, and all of DC Infinite Frontier. So let's hope they don't break my heart again. And then I have to quit DC for a while. Fingers crossed. But that's about only like current stuff.
Oh, Hayden mentioned the new Conjuring comic, and that's really good.
Wait, like the movie Conjuring?
Yeah, it's a prequel to the new movie.
I'm in.
Yes.
I love those movies so much.
Yeah.
I love spooky movies. We had a thing all quarantine where like me and a group of 2 other girls watch scare movies online together through like Netflix Party or whatever every Friday night.
That's adorable.
We call it lesbian horror movie group. Let me catch up on these comments. Gabby has started reading Lemire's Animal Man. Yes. Definitely intrigued. Weird, but in a good way. Animal Man's so good. It's so gory and weird and cool. It's so cool. Vault, I think I'm currently reading Witchblood from them.
Witchblood is so good.
I wonder if I've ever seen... Is that one of those sexy lady comics?
No.
So I'm thinking about Witchblade. Witchblood is something different.
Witchblood, she has like... I think she has blue or green hair or something.
Ooh.
And she's adorable.
This looks so cool. I'll upload a picture thing to show. Where our buttons go. Where our buttons go. I can talk, you guys. I have a real person job and a master's degree, and I can talk. That looks really cool.
It's so good. You're going to love it.
For sure. I can already tell.
There is witches, a talking crow, and a vampire motorcycle gang. That's all I'm going to tell you.
That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
Done. Digging the Many Deaths of Layla's Star. I've heard so many good things.
Oh, that's really good too.
So many good things.
If it's like an indie that's coming out, I'm probably reading it. That's just my whole thing.
Chris, thank you for asking me. I love it. Horizon Forbidden West. I don't know if you play video games, Ayce.
No, I can't play them. They make me nauseous.
That's okay. But this is a sequel to a game. There's a comic book too. But my wife is in it.
Which
and
wife?
So my video game wife. She's very cool. She's a redhead. And I also cosplay as her. And they're finally having another game.
Was that the one that all the like certain group of people were really angry about? Like the redheaded girl?
Yes, that's the one. Everyone's like, why do girls look like this? I was like, she's perfect. I don't know what you're talking about. I stay with my like 5 posters of her and like pop figures, like keychains. That's my wife. Do I have many? Yes, it's fine.
The only thing I know about video games is that there are certain characters that certain people hate, and I have to love them automatically. And I'm just like, yep, I love them. That's my favorite character because it makes you mad.
I'm currently reading Far Sector and Something is Killing the Children. Ever read either? Yes. I've only read 1 volume of Something is Killing the Children. I don't know if that's all it's out. But I've read 7 issues of Far Sector, 7 or 8. Loved it. Oh my God, I loved it. You know, I know you don't read DC and stuff, Ayce, but I think you might like Far Sector. It's very, it's very Afrofuturism.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, it's beautiful. Like that, just the world building and like the design and like, it's so cool. And she's so cool. She's basically Janelle Monáe, but like a Green Lantern.
Oh my God.
And the fact that she used her power, that's what she is. And she basically used her powers to like make herself like a little poncho once. Because Green Lanterns just make things. And so cool. It's so cool. I hope that we have her forever. Jessica has a question for you.
Ooh, my comic wise. Lucy from Wicked and Divine, Cassie from Hack and Slash. I can't remember their names, but the women from Bingo Love, I love them.
Oh, I love Bingo Love.
I love it so much. Deja Flores, she's my favorite like character in literature too. I'm a stan. Everybody in Living Heroes, I love them. And the mom in the Autumnal from Volt, love her. And this babe.
Oh my God, Heathen.
Oh, I haven't fully finished it yet, but I just love her. She's
so good. And those trade paperbacks for Heathen have a good face feel. So just throw that out there. I have a master's degree in security studies and diplomacy. So I studied like intelligence work and stuff. And now I do this. So could have joined the State Department or the FBI or the CIA, but I'm in here. No, I have a real job, but I won't say what it is. Am I a spy? I don't know. I'm not. I don't know what I'm doing. This is a dumb bit. I shouldn't have started. I'm interested in reading Red Sonja. Speaking of redheads, LOL. Where should I start? Should I start with the Gail Simone Omni?
Yes.
It's the best one to start with.
Everything else after that will slightly disappoint you because it's not that. But it's not that it's bad. It's not the Gail Simone run. But you'll still love it after that.
Oh, Gabby, you'll love it. And the omnibus is beautiful anyways. Honestly, but like the art's perfect, the story's perfect. I thought I'd never read Red Sonja. I looked at it and I had that unfortunate like first thought about her, which I hate now. That I just saw like, oh, there's just this lady in a bikini armor. Like, no. But I saw Gail Simone wrote it. I was like, I'll try it. And within seconds, I was like, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with Red Sonja. I need everything. I will die for her. Like, I was like, this is it. Because she's not your typical character. And Gail Simone does a great job of that. She smells bad. And sometimes she tries to have people sleep with her, and they're like, nah, you smell, girl. I love it. What genre is Heathen? Looks interesting. What would you say?
I haven't finished. I've only read like 2 issues so far, so I don't know how to do medieval-ish.
It's like fantasy.
Yeah.
Fantasy revenge fighting things.
Yes. Some
mythology in there. Oh, good, Chris. I hope you like it. Saying I'm not a spy is exactly what a spy would say.
I am a spy. What does that say?
We're both spies. It's a trick. It's like Princess Bride, right? Where it's just like, what does it mean? Literally every comic after Gail stops writing it, it's fine. It's just not the Gail Simone run. Yeah. That's true. You know? Yeah. Of course. Looks like Hayden has been reading Harley Quinn, the current run. Of course. Hayden, you've got good taste. I can talk. Let's see. So based on this comic, what's the recommendation you would give people, do you think? Like, hey, or if you were like, hey, I like this comic, but a better version I think would be this. Or like, that's a hard question actually, because I couldn't think of a next step either, so I shouldn't have asked that.
I'm not sure.
Let's try to think of good questions. I screwed myself over with it.
Read Orlando by Virginia Woolf. That's my recommendation. There's fashion in that, and this has fashion.
Actually, here, I think I have a good question. We like to ask people, like, I haven't asked it for a while, what their comic book origin story is. When did you first...
Okay, I might cry when I talk about
Oh,
mine.
no.
No, like a happy cry, though.
Okay, I cry all the time, so like it won't bother me.
I'm going to try not to, though.
Okay.
So, my great-grandma was a Holocaust survivor, and I would stay with her a few weeks every summer. And she could speak English, but she didn't know how to read English.
Yeah.
And I hated speaking as a kid, but I could read extremely well, like way above my grade average. And so, like, went to a comic book store one day because she had a hard time reading just regular books, and she wasn't understanding anything. But she remembered, like, when she came to America, she saw Wonder Woman stuff, and she didn't know what it was. And so we were in a comic shop, and I was just like, I want this. And she was just like, smile, because she didn't know who that person was, but she was just like, I like her. So we started reading her. And I was just like, yes. And then I read a lot of Batgirl as a kid because of her. And a little bit of Tank Girl, but she wasn't too fond of me reading.
I'm sure. Grandmas would not be.
But she was like so supportive. Like whatever we could find in a dollar bin that had a woman on it, we would read it.
Yeah.
And so she learned to read that way. And then she would make me read it out loud. So it helped me with my like speaking. And that's my story.
I think that's like the sweetest comic origin story I've ever heard, to be honest.
Yeah.
Very specific to Ayce, but if Evelyn Hugo was a graphic novel, who would you choose as a writer-artist
Oh
team?
my God.
Yes, I'm dropping this as a chance for you to evangelize about Evelyn.
I dropped my headphones. Hold on. No. Okay, my headphones just ripped underneath my chair. Awesome.
Oh, no. It's okay. I literally broke a figure right before we started this video, and Ayce got to see it. So.
Okay, found another pair. Hold on. Okay, Evelyn Hugo. Okay, the writer would be me. Because I could write it well. And the artist would be Jen Bartel.
Ooh. And
I would want Stormy Daniels to help me write because he's my buddy. And yeah.
I have never read that. I don't know what it is.
Okay, hold on.
Am I out of the loop?
Yes.
I see that Jessica and Gabby both. I'm like, oh no. I feel like I'm supposed to know.
Okay. This greatest book of all time. It is the love of my life. I love this as much as I love Helen Mirren. If y'all know me, that's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
So, it is about Evelyn Hugo, who is this movie star in like the 50s and 60s. And she's like very bisexual, but she keeps like marrying these men. And then she ends up meeting a woman, and they are amazing. And it's such a good book. I can't spoil it, but it's written like an interview.
Okay.
And listen to the audiobook.
Well, let me just add that to my cart right now.
Like
All
listening
it
to
takes
the
is three of my
audiobook.
favorite people being like, read it. I'm like, okay.
The audiobook is a totally different experience than reading it. And I'm gonna cry. I love it so much.
All right. I'll check it out. It's in my cart.
Okay.
It'll be my birthday present to myself.
So I have a bookmark for it.
Nice.
So, okay. That's me being like super cringy about something.
No, it's not cringy at all. Trust. Which figure, Wonder Woman or Roy Harper? Well, I'll show you guys. It wasn't a cheap one, and it was a gift from my husband, so he will find out
right now.
But it was my Frank Cho Wonder Woman figure, thick thighs. Now I was pulling out my I have a cover that goes over this bookshelf during the day for work, and I was like, oh no, this is what happened right before I started the show with Ayce. I think I could super glue her back together, but she has seen some better times. Whoops. This is not the first time I've broken a figure, so, you know. Thank you, Joe. I ran the first thing of Candlekeep Mysteries about the book to run it, so.
Nice.
Wow. That's terrifying. I will not sleep at night. Yeah, I have no impulse control. So, all right. Well, anyways, it's time, I guess. You know what? Ayce said the same thing. This has been nice.
That's it.
I promise next time I have you on, I'll pick a book that we can talk about more at length. I overestimated. Underestimated. I did a wrong estimation of this book and how long it would take. But it was still fun. I'm really glad to hang out.
Glad I could be on with you. I love you.
Love you too.
Yay!
I'll be back next week with Sweet Tooth. Talk about that. With some guests, like 5 million guests on there. Gabby's one of them. She's in the chat. As long as Phil and Lee. So it'll be fun. And to find Ayce elsewhere, you can find links to their Twitter and the 2 channels that they're on in the description. Remind me, it's every other Wednesday?
No, every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday on Not Near Mint. Yeah. Live at 10 p.m. Eastern. Right. Yes. Hey, I remembered.
And then Brags and Boards is whenever I feel like it, because
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good way to do it.
I have 2 videos up. You should check them out. They're really iconic, and they will change your life.
I do like the surprise bitch, but I love that line every time anyways. But yeah, I hope you all have a good night. If you're watching this video later, comment down below. Tell us what you thought about Snotgirl. Keep it respectful, or I'll delete the comment. I hope you like this video. Subscribe for future videos. We have Patreon stuff through which you can vote for your pick of the month for Over a New Reader. This month, it is a Transformers book. I forget which one got picked. I've never read Transformers. I'm doing it for Dan to try to relate. I don't know how they work. they Transformer stuff and they're robots, I guess. We'll see. And yeah, so everybody have a good night, and thank you again, Ayce, for hanging out.
Thank you for having me.
Goodbye, everybody.